R2 the dog. I ain't even been feeling like doing this. But let's get it. Yeah. It's probably the real level up. BIP Red Dog 1.
The O is for the 16 ounces that's in a whole pound. They really out here feeling my music. Shout out the whole town. K is for the killers I know who keep the 4 pound. You give an inch, he taking a mile like it was 4th down. The L is for the ladies for sure. I mean the real ones who out here working hard for the.
What's up, world? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy R2, and we back with another banger, you know what I'm saying? So grab your popcorn and your cold drink and go on over there and hit that like button, then hit that subscribe button, and then jump over there and hit that bell so when I drop these bangers, you be one of the first ones to put your eyes on it. You know what I'm talking about? What's cracking? What's good with y'all, man? First and foremost, y'all know how I like to do it. I like to shout out all the supporters, man. I definitely shout out the supporters, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Everybody who's been commenting, everybody who's been subscribing, everybody who's been, you know what I mean, tapping in, man. That's what it's about. That's what I'm talking about. You dig what I'm saying? We trying to get rich off content. You dig what I'm saying? And as it come, we going to run it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line. So, man, let's get right to it. What's good, y'all, man? How y'all feeling tonight? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I ran a video earlier today, you know what I'm saying? And from the looks of it, we're going to run another one this evening. You dig what I'm saying? I just came up on another clip from Gillie, you know what I'm saying? And he responding to the slap, you know what I'm saying? After, you know, his nephew, myself, you dig what I'm saying? I pushed the content out this morning, you know, early this morning because I was just feeling it today. So I liable to drop this video tonight, man, because y'all showing so much support and I'm getting so much positive feedback. You dig what I'm saying? I'm looking at the numbers and it's just, you know, getting back in the algorithm and just dropping these videos every day, every day, every day. So all the content creators out there, everybody who thinking about doing this thing, man, definitely if you're from the Oklahoma City area, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a firm believer in, you know, I love my state. I love my city. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting on for my city when I do this. So anybody from Oklahoma City who in the comments, who in the support, you know what I mean, who are part of the foundation, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? O City or no city, you dig what I'm saying? Home of the champs, you know what I'm talking about? And yeah, man, so if you're thinking about doing this content, doing this podcasting thing, just push it out, man. Get the videos out, get the content out to the people because that's what they want to see. You know what I'm saying? People want to be entertained, and that's what we here for. You dig what I'm saying? So let's get right into the content. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, we actually ran a video this morning. You know what I'm saying? Because Johnny Manziel stepped into what Cam Newton and Gillie the Kid has been, you know, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, what I've been seeing is Cam got personal after Gillie said, you know, that Jalen did what he couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And that's get an NFL championship. You know what I mean? Bring the hardware to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Get the jury. You know what I'm saying? So. And he's right, you know. Cam Newton didn't get the jury, you know. But let's back up Cam on this deal too, because we gotta speak from all point of views, you know what I'm saying. And Cam is a podcaster; that's what he does, you know what I'm saying. So his job is to get up there and give his opinion and give his critique, you know what I'm saying. And he's an ex NFL football player, and let's not act like Cam was a bum. Cam was a phenomenal football player. I always said that. Cam was a phenomenal football player. He just didn't get it done. You know, he had a, you know, maybe a less than average team. You know what I'm saying? He may not have had the pieces that he needed to get the job done, but let's be honest, they made it to the Super Bowl, and I don't see you getting to the Super Bowl without a team as a collective team, even though they had a good defense. Let's be honest, it's a team effort. Every sport is a team effort. Nobody can do it alone. You know what I'm saying? So they made it to the Super Bowl. So a lackluster team, in my eyes, doesn't, you know, typically make it to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So they were some kind of good. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, man, Cam Newton is definitely entitled to his opinion. He's a podcaster, man. That's what he does. He does this for a living. So it's like, yeah, you know, we got to expect his opinion to come out. You know what I'm saying? And it's not foreign for a person to get on there and speak their opinion. I just kind of felt like it was me personally. I kind of felt like it was a little bit of hate in there, a little bit of shade. Maybe, you know, maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. I definitely want to point out, y'all. Definitely tap into the R to the Dog podcast, man. I definitely appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I hope y'all see me working. You dig what I'm saying? It looks good up there. I'm hoping that everything works out like I planned for it to, like I've been praying for it to. So we gonna push through. Let's run this clip though of Gillie, man. He, kind of getting his little get back or whatever. But let's run this clip.
Come on, Johnny. Out of all the motherfuckers you could fuck with, Johnny, what the fuck would make you stop at me, man? Huh? What would make you stop at that bus stop and fuck with me, Johnny? I know what it was. I know exactly what it was. Ain't no secret. You had 8 ball of that shit, Johnny. I figured by now that shit would have wore off, right? Johnny, what the fuck would make you get up and just say, you gonna slap me? Out of all the motherfuckers on planet Earth, Johnny, you gonna slap me? Had to be this shit right here, Johnny. Because it ain't 1917 no more, Johnny. This is 2025. Niggas fight back, Johnny. The fuck make you think you just gonna slap a nigga and then what you just gonna do? You just gonna walk off about your business, Johnny, and just ain't nothing gonna happen, Johnny. No, we gonna have to put on a bet nap, Johnny, to over and under for how many fucking days you gonna lay in the hospital. And I'm taking 13 and a half days. I'm taking the fucking over, Johnny. Now let me tell you something, Johnny. I need you to check in the AA, Alcohol Anonymous, and I need you to check the fuck out of AAB. African American business, Johnny. This shit ain't had nothing to do with you. Sit your dumb ass down somewhere. You hear me? Now, Cam said what he said about jailing. I told Cam he did something you couldn't do in a Super Bowl, and then Cam, big, goofy, extra sensitive ass, started talking personal shit. So you and Cam could both sit y'all super goofy asses down some fucking where. Fucking cocaine Johnny and big fucking sensitive. You big sassy ass nigga, sit your dumb ass down somewhere, nigga. I don't know what the fuck you got going on. But I told you niggas, neither one of y'all could fuck with jailing. And then you talk about, I'm the biggest loser. You ain't did nothing on the football field, neither did you, Johnny. You was in a fucking league for 2 weeks. They sent you to the fucking Australian Kangaroos. The fuck you, I think you did 2 years with the Lithuanian Bombers or some shit. Fuck is you talking about? You ain't did shit either. Get the fuck out of here, Johnny. Right.
Yo. And like I said, man, I just don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Johnny, you misspoke on this deal. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, man, it's 2025, man. I think I said this earlier in earlier's video, in this morning's video. Bruh, it's 2025. And I'm not even being racist. And I'm not a racist, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not for no bull. You dig what I'm saying? And me personally, I've just never seen a white man slap a black man. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from the concrete, man. You understand what I'm saying? And being from the concrete, being from, that cloth, I'm cut from that cloth. I'm the last of the dying breed. You dig what I'm saying? I'm 1988. You feel me? I grew up in the 90s. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I was raised by a general. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I learned all my game from a general. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just the things that I'm used to and accustomed to and how I live and how I walk and talk and move, it's like, bruh, I've never seen it. I've never seen a white boy slap a black dude. You know what I'm saying? I just ain't never seen it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And I don't plan on seeing it. And if you ask me, I ain't gonna see it. You understand what I'm saying? And especially not somebody of Gillie's caliber. Like I said, man, the dude is a staple in the Philadelphia area. You understand what I'm saying? He been in the hip hop scene over 30 years. You dig what I'm saying? He was signed to one of the biggest labels that ever existed, in Cash Money Records. You understand what I'm saying? And I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? He got $1 million worth of game with his cousin Wallow. Wallow did 25 plus in the can. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't see that happening. It wouldn't happen. You understand what I'm saying? Johnny Manziel, he just misspoke. And Gillie right, he might have been high on that crap. You understand what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, Johnny Manziel got a drug problem. Everybody know it. He's got on national television and talked about his drug problem. That was part of the reason why he couldn't stay in the league. He couldn't stop getting in trouble. He got in trouble maybe 2-3 times for sure. You know what I'm saying? He just couldn't get his act together. You understand what I'm saying? And drugs played a big part in that. So what Gillie being petty, but at the same time, it's a lot of truth to what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He probably was on that powder when he made that tweet, because that's a crazy tweet. Like, you really going at somebody, telling them that you gonna harm them or do them something when you see them, bruh. You know what you're saying, bruh. You know what you're really getting yourself into, like. You know, in some states, you know, if something was to happen to you or you was to get beat up or stomped out or something, you know what I'm saying? In some states, you know, it wouldn't be grounds to be charged with nothing, because you publicly online made a tweet, you know, threatening to do something to somebody. So what am I supposed to think if I actually see you, or when I actually see you, and then, you know, I just handle my business off of what you know, typed with your fingers and said you was going to do to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm a firm believer in not threatening. You dig what I'm saying? I don't make idle threats. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, you make a threat to somebody, you better be able to stand on that business. You know what I'm saying? Because who's to say how they gonna feel, you know, when they run across you. You understand what I'm saying? And not everybody is gonna take a threat as a joke or a game. You understand what I'm saying? Especially not in these times, 2025, with Donald Trump being in office and all of these people of Caucasian you know, background, Caucasian, you know, people, you know, typically they out here just feeling themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, man, it's a white man's world, and that's a fact. And I ain't on no Black Panther stuff, but let's just be honest. The white man is in control. You dig what I'm saying? And it ain't that way by mistake. So it's like, yeah, you know, and this is why I actually reacted to the you know, the threat off the rip, because it's like, in 2025, you feel like it's okay for you as a white man to threaten a black man on the internet, and, you know, y'all both public figures, and it's just supposed to be okay? You understand what I'm saying? That's why it hit the news line like it did. It hit the blog sites immediately, because that's a crazy statement. You understand what I'm saying? Being who Gillie the Kid is, even if Gillie wasn't who he was, just as a famous black man, period. Because let's be honest, if it was somebody that wasn't famous, we probably would never heard about it. But it being famous, these two people being, you know, they both had their time to shine. Gillie is shining a little more now than Manziel, because, you know, his light done kind of dwindled out now that he's not throwing the football no more. You know what I'm saying? We hear about him every now and again, if he going to rehab or if he trying to clean himself up or whatever. I'm not sure what he's into right now. But, you know, Gillie made the comment that you was in the league for 2 weeks. It wasn't actually 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a long time. It may have been 2 or 3 seasons maybe. Because it's like, yeah, Johnny Manziel, and when he played, he put up crazy numbers. When Johnny Manziel played, he put up crazy numbers. He was crazy in high school. He was crazy in college. He went crazy in high school, went crazy in college. He was a phenomenal talent, you know, but when he got to the league, he got that bread. You know, he might have been, I know he was a top pick, you know, he got that bread, and, you know, the money start coming in, and these dudes, they derail. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's important that you got people around you that got some kind of sound reasoning. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need a bunch of yes men around you, because I'm pretty sure that's how he took a downfall, man. You don't got nobody around you that can hold you accountable for the things that you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? You bringing in the bag, and a lot of people feel like just because you bringing the bag in, you know, we not gonna hold you accountable for nothing, because we scared of losing our position being close to you and you got the bag. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these athletes, and we see it today, a lot of these athletes once they get paid, you understand, they get real sloppy. They get real lazy. They start kicking it a whole lot more. They start riding in Lamborghinis and hanging out with the rap stars and doing this and doing that. It's like, yeah, it's just like come on, let's take James Harden for instance. You understand what I'm saying? He's never won a championship. You understand? And that's supposed to be one of the main goals as an NBA player, is to bring home the ship. What are we playing for? If we're not playing for a championship, what are we playing for? You understand what I'm saying? What is the goal once you make it to the professional level? And to me, the goal is to bring a championship home. I don't think there's nobody in the league who wouldn't want to experience the opportunity to have a championship. I don't think it's one person that ever played in the league who didn't fantasize about being a champion, or who didn't have some kind of aspirations to be a champion. And if you don't succeed in that, you know, I feel like, you know, and if you're still in the league and you're still working to succeed and getting a championship, you should be working. You should be in the gym, perfecting your craft, getting strong, getting fit, getting slim, you know, getting in shape, getting conditioned, so that you can play at 100% at the highest level. You understand what I'm saying? Being in Lamborghinis and kicking it and going to parties and turning up and doing cocaine and doing this and doing that and popping X, that shouldn't be a priority. That shouldn't even be in your repertoire when you're trying to be great. Let's go back and look at Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Jordan, his thing was gambling. He liked to go, you know, play cards or whatever. That's how he digressed. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't get too wild. You know, he kept it real simple. You understand what I'm saying? But majority of the time, when it get down to it, you're going to find him in the gym. He going to be there when there ain't nobody there. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, if you want to be great in these leagues, sometimes, I mean, most of the times, those are the things that you got to do, stuff that nobody wants to do. And nobody wants to work out. Nobody wants to train. Nobody wants to, you know, be accountable. Nobody wants to be responsible. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy to trick the bag off. You know what I'm saying? I never been a millionaire, but we gonna get there. You dig what I'm saying? Take note of that. Write that down. Take a picture of this, you know, take a screenshot of this video. We definitely gonna be a millionaire, all off content. Watch what I tell you. But like I was saying, you know, when you get that bread, I'm pretty sure, you know, you get a lot more laxed. You stop taking it serious. And Johnny Manziel was a high school phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? He was a phenomenon, man, out of high school, into college, into the league. You know what I'm saying? First round. You understand what I'm saying? A stud, all around stud. So for him to get to this point of success and all that, you know, when you in college, you know, Johnny Manziel was the man. They probably couldn't tell him nothing. He's the man. In a college town, from a football town, you know, playing college football in a football town. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the fast life. Everything's coming fast. Fast life. The girls, the parties, the drugs. You understand what I'm saying? And that was probably okay when he was playing at Texas Tech. That was probably okay. Or whatever Texas school he went to. I think it was Texas Tech or Texas A&M. It was either one of them. Maybe Texas A&M. But that was okay when he was there because he was the guy. But when you get to the league, man, you're a dime a dozen. You can throw the rock. Yeah, that's cool, but you're a dime a dozen, bro. So, you know, the drugs and getting in trouble and to keep messing up, they're going to get you out of there because, let's be honest, in the league, like I said, you're a dime a dozen, man. When you get to the NFL level, you a dime a dozen, man, unless you like a Patrick Mahomes that you done already won 2 championships. You know, Johnny Manziel did none of that. But he also went to a team that was kind of not really doing, they was not really doing too well in the Cleveland Browns. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like Johnny Manziel is relating to Cam because they both went to sucky teams when they got drafted. They both got drafted to sucky teams, and they didn't get the chance to be in a system where we got the best running back, we got top wide receivers, we got, you know, a beefed up defense. You know what I'm saying? In the best position to win. So I think that's how they kind of bonded on that deal because they both, had to take the stirs. You dig what I'm saying? It wasn't an overnight success, but they both had crazy success in high school and college. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal athletes. But like I said, when you get in these positions, like if you get to a team that's not that good, me personally, I'm going to feel like I'm the man. Now I got to turn these guys up, because everybody loves a Cinderella story. You dig what I'm saying? You come over here, you turn this team up, and that's what Cam Newton did. You just didn't win in the big game, big fella. You understand what I'm saying? And I know the sports world is going to forever not let you live the fact down that you didn't dive on that fumble. I mean, it happens. I mean, don't be bitter about it, because at the end of the day, you still made millions. You still played in the NFL. You still did what 98% of the guys in the world who gonna judge you for not jumping on that fumble, you still did what they never could do. And let's make it to the professional level. And we all know the chances of that is next to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that. And as a youngster, you got these pipe dreams. You think, oh, I'm going to the NBA. Oh, I'm going to the NFL. Yeah, you want to. You would love to. You want to get mama out the hood. You want to put mama in a nice crib. You want to have a Benz in the front yard. You want to provide for your family, your kids, if you got them. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, is to make it to the league so we ain't got to stress no more. You know what I'm saying? And when you get there, if you don't take your chance serious, if you don't cherish it, if you don't make the best of it, then you're going to have some regrets. And I think that's what Johnny Manziel is with his life. You know what I'm saying? The drugs, the girls, the booze, the everything that you was doing except for football. You know what I'm saying? They was calling him Mr. Football. You know what I'm saying? So he was in the right position. You could have put the Browns on your back, man. You could have put the Browns on your back. You could have pumped life into the locker room. And let's be honest, Cam Newton, you took what you said was a losing culture of a team to 15-1. Y'all didn't win the big game, but that's still a big accomplishment. You took some guys that was, arguably, trash or whatever. You took them to 15-1. You just didn't win the big game, and you didn't dive on that fumble, man. You know what I'm saying? You didn't give it all you had. And that's the difference between, the GOAT and a dude who was just, who was good. A dude who was phenomenal on the field, but was he a GOAT? And that's the difference between a GOAT and a dude who went hard on the field or went hard on the court. Did you give it your all every time? I look at Russell Westbrook as a GOAT, because when you put Russell Westbrook on the floor, you're never going to see him give you 50%. He's always going to give you 100%. And if a person is giving you all they got, what more can you ask for? You dig what I'm saying? What more can we ask for? If they giving they all, they giving everything they got. They even dug a little deeper just to, even the little bit that they didn't have, they found it. You know what I'm saying? That's what separates the GOAT from a dude who was just great. You understand what I'm saying? And Cam Newton, you were a great player, but you can't be mad at the world because they don't look at you as a GOAT. You understand what I'm saying? You did some GOAT shit. You did some GOAT things, but in the time where it counted the most, what they gonna remember you for is not getting on that fumble. You understand what I'm saying? And that's hustle 101. If the ball get loose, get on it. That's hustle 101. Let me know if I'm incorrect in the comments, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's hustle 101. So it's like, Cam, you can't be mad at the world because they don't feel like you was the GOAT. You didn't get it done, and you didn't dive on the fumble when you had the chance. And you can't say your team was trash because you took them to 15-1. You're a quarterback. You're supposed to lead the team. You're supposed to put the team on your back. You're supposed to have a C on your chest. You're supposed to be the captain. You the person in the huddle that everybody is looking at to believe in. You the chosen one. You dig what I'm saying? And in the situation that you had and you could have gave it your all, you didn't. And that's just my opinion. You didn't give it your all. Because I watched that Super Bowl. I was rooting for you, big fella. Seriously. I was in the penitentiary when that Super Bowl was going on. I was on the pod, salty. Because I did not want freaking Denver to win that Super Bowl, bro. I was going for the black quarterback. Let's be honest. I was going for the black quarterback, the Superman. And you let us down when you know, with the lackluster hustle. You know what I'm saying? Even though Von Miller was turning y'all a new butthole, you understand me? Von Miller told y'all a new butthole. I'm not denying that. But at some point, we got to put double on him. We got to put double on him. We got to put some double on him. You know what I'm saying? Giving me some room to do something. You understand what I'm saying? And maybe that was coach's fault. Maybe. You understand what I'm saying? But all in all, Cam, you gonna get major respect out here in the football world. You was a hell of a football player. We're not gonna act like you weren't. Johnny Manziel, you was a hell of a high school, college football player. You came to the league, you put some numbers up, but you know, the drugs, the booze, the girls, you know, the lifestyle took you down. You know what I'm saying? So for you to say Gillie ain't never played on the football field, that's obvious, bro. He's a fan. He's a fan who happens to be a podcaster, and he's from Philadelphia. Those guys are typically diehard fans. Philly fans are diehard fans. Cowboys fans, diehard fans. You know what I'm saying? These people who are real at heart fans, come on, man. They gonna be happy. They gonna celebrate for their people. They gonna boost their people up. That's what they supposed to do. Johnny Manziel, you stuck your nose in some business that didn't have nothing to do with you because you and Cam relate. You and Cam relate. Y'all both got drafted to, you know, sucky teams, you know, in y'all's opinion, you know, and y'all have came out and said these things about the team. And Cam Newton, you wonder why the Carolina Panthers organization don't want to really deal with you. They ain't want to, you know, show you no love, is because you publicly talk down on these guys, man. And it's like, yeah, if you ain't going, you know, if you ain't getting with the program, if you ain't with us, you against us. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, hey, man, it's always two sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you can't make everybody happy. You can't make everybody happy. Johnny Manziel, stay out of black folks' business. Stay out of when two men is having a discussion, you don't involve yourself in that. That's rule number one. Mind your business, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you publicly coming out saying you're gonna slap a black man, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. Said it in the last video, but we're gonna reiterate. And we came back because Gillie dropped the video and responded to what you said. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, Johnny Manziel, keep your mouth closed, stay out of people's business. And Gillie could be right. You might need to go check into that rehab, man. You might need to go get you some help because it's 2025, man. You don't really know what's in that cocaine. You dig what I'm saying? Because that money ain't flowing in like it used to. You know what I'm saying? So you probably living off daddy's, daddy's pension plan or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's my take on that. And I appreciate y'all, man. Once again, appreciate all the supporters, everybody that come through, everybody that drop a comment, everybody that done put a like on a video, everybody that sits and watch me talk about these topics, man. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoying the, you know what I mean, the artwork I got up there. You know what I'm saying? I do this for y'all, man. Y'all my motivation. And that bag, let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it misconstrued. We're going to be rich off content. We speaking it into existence. I pray for it every day, and I know the good Lord going to bless me, man, because this is what it is. He put it on my heart to do it, and we taking the dive and we going for it. You dig what I'm saying? But until next time, it's your boy R2, and I'm gone, man. Peace, love. I appreciate y'all. One.